Hey everyone, and welcome back. So we're on to our navigation, a really important version of our design here. So I'm going to go back into my visual style and exploration resource and track down the navigation exploration that we did and some of the additional exploration that I did. And I'll talk through some of these components. Here it is. So originally I was thinking a lot about having this like nice little circle with like the search right in the middle, but then I realized that, the truth is when we think about this app a bit more, search isn't as important sometimes. If anything, this is more of a concierge service that is serving us recommended products or relevant products as well that we don't need to search for. It takes the whole manual process right out and is totally automated. So instead of opting for this version, I decided to go with something a bit more simple where the search is off to the side. So they're not in these variations, but if we take a look at our final versions, we have just wish lists, we have profile where we're going to combine profile and orders, and then we have, and like your account, and then we'll have the search right off to the right. Easy to click right away, just on that right thumb for the majority of users, and always like easily accessible within your main toolbar at the bottom. So I have a bunch of different options here. Let's go through them. So the first base icons I have here are these base nav icons. And all I have here are two variants, one between an inactive state and an active state. And these are basically fueling these icons here. So if I take this navigation and say I want to turn this one from a default to an active state, I can easily do that. Same with this one. I can turn this one to an active state. And so on. So you can easily turn those to active states. And, maybe we'll have to find a new icon for this because we don't have like a yellow background. Maybe I don't opt for the yellow background. Either way, I can change that here really quickly. And like say, I just want to change it to white. And let's see if it updates on this one. So now it's updated on that one. It's not updating on the house just yet. So remember, it's probably because we made a change at this level. So if I take this icon and copy it one more time and I go and click into this a little bit and I go to, where is it? If I go instead of heart and I go to home, now when I turn that to active, it works perfectly. So remember, if you're going to make a change to something, make it within, not within here, make it within the base section if you need to. But that is how you would go about doing that. And I'm just going to, revert that change to that yellow just for now, and maybe we'll decide on that in a second. So if we just publish that change back, and that's very weird that it's not working, but that's okay. Totally okay for now. We can always just change it if we need to, just within there. That's one of the reasons why I think I'm going to swap that out. It's too hard to deal with, and I'm not sure how much value it really adds. It's nice though. So we do have that, and then we have this tab item over here. Just once again, it's like the active state and then inactive state, and then it's used over here. What I'm doing is it's literally just the text item with a bottom border. So if we go into how it's created over here, and we go into our stroke, I've specified that it's just the bottom, and I can say that, okay, now this item is selected, and there you go. That is how you create just like a simple tab structure. So I've just spaced them up at 32 pixels. And if we look at some of our designs, the reason why I did that was because I was coming up with a section over here. And, you know, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. It's a lot of color right now. Maybe it's like grayed out, or maybe it's just white, but we have a section here available for tab navigation. So really, really helpful to have another option like that, or a secondary tab navigation. And then we have the form navigation. So this one is really cool too. The only thing I did was I created a progress bar. And you may be wondering like, why? Well, I mean, sometimes when you have the various registration sections, so if we go into our registration over here, you know, we have these steps, and I like to show the steps. So, I mean, it just adds a little bit more to the design, and it's really easy because it's built in a way where you have just a nice fill, which is the black fill over here. And, you know, I'm actually going to say that I want this to be, you know, I want all these fills to have even darker color, but they are set up to scale. That's the most important part about this and how it's going to work. They are going to scale. At first, I set them to 400 in width, and then I knew I was going to have 4 steps, so I was going to, you know, have a 10% when they first started. So this one is just like at 10, and then, you know, at 100, or I mean, like just to show that it's begun. It's not 10%, but it's really small. Then I have like the 25%, 50%, 75%, and then finally 100% when they finally finish. And so the final design, you know, it looks like this form where you can easily, you know, select the name that you want for the content and over here, and you can, you know, show the logo if you want. But the other great thing is if I come into here, if I command and click or control click, I can select this progress bar base, and then I can, you know, say I want 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So this is just based off of like 4 steps, but you can expand it if you need to. And that is how I created that navigation. It's really, really helpful to, you know, just have something like that, and basically reusing a lot of these same types of just design patterns that we're using in terms of like using color consistency, using typography consistency, basically all follow the same pattern. And as you can tell, if we just look at this, I'm just going to, I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to grab this version so I can show you the difference between the two. But, you know, just cleaning up the color, like I said, making the exit less prominent, also making the step a little bit bigger, and having the option to just turn off the logo if I need to, which I'll probably do in final designs, and making this less chunkier than this. So much more cleaner experience. I know these are smaller details, but they're really, really important.